Hey, what's up, soldiers? My name is GregFPS, the Zombies Extraordinaire, and welcome back to another Saturday Top 10. I got an idea from Psycho Boy to do the top 10 wall buy locations in Treyarch Zombies history, but I want to change it up a little bit and do the top 10 most iconic wall buys for me. So these are things that I will literally buy this gun every single time I play on the map for the most part, and we're going to go through that list. Now, I understand that a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me and what I do, but that's kind of the point, I guess. Let me know what your favorite go-to weapon is down below in the comment section when you play on a specific map. Like, for example, if you play transit all the time, do you buy the M16 or do you buy the MP5? Like, things like that, let me know down below. So without further ado, if you enjoyed the video, please consider dropping a like and subscribe if you're new. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright guys, coming in at the number 10 spot is going to be the MP5 on Mob of the Dead. Now, the MP5 is a great weapon. It's in a lot of Black Ops 2 maps, and one of the best things about the MP5 is the fast mobility. But not only that, on Mob of the Dead, this weapon's really good for getting points on the lower rounds. You can use it to fill the dogs, and there's also a wall buy down in the generator room if you don't buy the one right in front of the cafeteria, which I do every single time I play Mob. Whether I'm doing speedruns or just playing casually, I always buy the MP5. It's one of the most reliable weapons in my opinion in all of Black Ops 2. It will get the job done, get you a lot of points. You can even shoot a couple shots and knife on the earlier rounds like round 3 and 4 and just rack up a ton of points. And it's really good for doing like the washing room lockdown, all that sort of thing. So it's just a great weapon, and it had to be here at the number 10 spot. Alright guys, coming in at the number 9 spot is going to be the KRM on Shadows of Evil. Now, to be honest with you guys, I basically never hit the box on Shadows because I always get the KRM. The Brecci and the Haymaker are better shotguns than the KRM, but it's not to say that the KRM doesn't mess up Marguas. It is really good when you're doing the flag step of the Easter egg, or if you're killing all the Marguas to fill up your Arch Ovum. Now, I understand most people can't get 3 friends to do the 4-player Easter egg on Shadows, but this weapon is just so good and really effective for taking out meatballs and anything else that comes your way, including Marguas on Shadows. So I think the KRM definitely deserved a spot here. It's not very good before you pack a punch it, unfortunately, but once you pack a punch it, it's worth it, and I pretty much always buy it off the wall. Coming in at the number 8 spot is going to be the SVU on Buried. Now, of course, you can draw 5 different weapons around the map, but I always buy the SVU, and the reason for this is because of the Sharpshooter perma perk or the long shots perma perk. You have to get anywhere from 5 to 15 long shots, then you get 300 additional points per kill. Now, the great thing about this on Buried specifically is because you can get perma PhD, and once you get perma PhD, if you're holding out the SVU or another sniper rifle and kill zombies with PhD, it will also give you the 300 additional points per zombie that you kill. So it just makes it super good. Now, of course, the AN94 can also be drawn on the wall, and it's a fantastic weapon as well. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but it definitely deserved to be here on the list. And number 8 is the SVU. You can draw it anywhere, but I usually just end up drawing it right in front of Arthur or Leroy's jail cell, or at the top of the stairs, because I'm going to be doing a bunch of dolphin dives to get PhD really quick so I can rack up some points. Coming in at the number 7 spot is going to be the MPL on 5. Now, the MPL is a great weapon because it's literally right outside of the spawn room. So once you pay $750, you can buy it off the wall for $1,000. Now, the thing about 5 is you want to rack up as much points as you can so that you can get access to the mystery box, for example, and also turn on power, which is all going to be down in the labs area. So you need a good amount of points in order to start off the game, and that's why I go with the MPL pretty much every single time I play 5. Now, the MPL is going to get you a lot of points. It deals basically like the most minuscule amount of damage possible once you get past like round 10. So even if you hold on to this weapon, you can get a bunch of points on the higher rounds as well. And I'm pretty sure this is the weapon a lot of the high rounders use when they use the electric traps that are up top on the top level of 5. So overall, I think the MPL is a great weapon. It's nice that it's like literally right outside of spawn, so you can get it every single time, and it comes in here at the number 7 spot. Coming in at the number 6 spot is my favorite gun in all of Black Ops 4, and that is the Spitfire, but more specifically, the Spitfire on Dead of the Night. The Spitfire on Dead of the Night is so good because you can get silver bullets, and this thing will literally melt the werewolves. I remember, like, whenever I open up Pack Punch with the tuning forks, that area, I literally can melt the werewolf like as he's on a tree before he drops down. It is so easy. If you have the Alistair's Folly, you can shoot the werewolf like 5 or 6 times and then pull out the Spitfire and he'll be dead basically instantly. Now the Spitfire is really good on this map, especially with the wildfire attachment, which is the operator mod for the Spitfire, which makes it like insane. It shoots so fast, but this thing will literally melt every single type of zombie on the map. It's really good. The only downfall that it does have is the lack of ammo. You run out of ammo really quickly, but with silver bullets you can buy more, and the wall buy is just in a perfect location as well. Like once I run out of ammo on the Strife or I can't really knife anymore, I just buy it at the top of the library and I'm good to go. So this weapon definitely had to be up here on the list, and it comes in at the number 6 spot. Alright guys, coming in at the number 5 spot, we're going back to Black Ops 1, and it is going to be the AK-74U on Call of the Dead. Now this weapon is on the lighthouse. It's a wall buy on the lighthouse right in front of that huge open training area that you guys know and love, and this is definitely one of the most important weapons to buy on Call of the Dead if you want to rack up points. Now what I usually do is I buy the 74U on like round 3 or round 4 depending on how many points I have, and then I will literally just train up zombies and kill as many as I can while avoiding George in front of the lighthouse. And usually once I get like 8,000 points or so, I will go turn on power, I'll go buy Jug, then I'll go right back in that spot and eventually buy PhD, and we're just going to be popping off after that. So I definitely would recommend getting the 74U on Call of the Dead. I literally buy this weapon every single time I play without a doubt. The 74U is definitely worth the 1,200 points that you'll pay for it, but it will make up that money like tenfold over time because you just rack up so many points, and it's actually really good and strong as well. So it comes in here at the number 5 spot. Coming in at the number 4 spot is going to be the AN94 on Die Rise. Now, going down the elevator shaft, obviously you're going to need some points if you want to get perks and stuff like that, but you can buy the AN94, basically the best assault rifle besides maybe the Scar H on Black Ops 2, and it's only 1,200 points on Die Rise. That is a steal and a half. So when you have the AN94, this is by far the best gun on the map besides the Liquefier and maybe the SVU from time to time, but this weapon just is so good at racking up points and killing a ton of zombies. You would be insane not to buy the AN94. Now yes, you have to go through and drop down the entire elevator shaft and all that stuff, which is kind of annoying, but if you're planning on buying Galvanuckles, you can also grab the AN94 on your way down, which is nice, and it's in a pretty good spot right in front of the booter room, so you can drop down the booter room and use that area if you want, or you can go back up to the roof or whatever and use the N94 to rack up some points and get some kills. So it comes in here at the number 4 spot. The wall buy is kind of out of the way, but I still think it's really iconic. Coming in at the number 3 spot is going to be the Thompson wall buy on Derice. Now this could be World at War or the Black Ops 1 version of Derice. The Thompson is a fantastic point weapon. It costs 1,200 points, and they still have that sign wrong on World at War Knocked where it says it's 1,500 points. But the Thompson is really good. When you pack a punch, you get the Gibbs-O-Matic. I know a lot of high rounders use the Thompson because it's in the Thompson room. They literally name that entire room where it is after the Thompson because it's like literally one of the most iconic wall buys in all of Call of Duty Zombies, and it really is a great gun for getting points and racking up a lot of points, and even getting points so that players can buy traps or they're doing high rounds on Derice. So this weapon definitely had to be pretty high up on the list, and it comes in here at the number 3 spot. Coming in at the number 2 spot is going to be the MP40 on Origins. Now the MP40 has 3 wall buys on the map. You have Generator 2, you have right at Excavation, and you also have one behind Juggernaut. And all 3 of those locations are super important spots because you have to fill up boxes, for example, behind Jug. So you have a wall buy there if you need more ammo. And 1,300 points is kind of a lot. If you think about it, it costs more than the AN94, which is kind of crazy. crazy. But overall, I think the MP40 on Origins is actually really effective. You can kill panzers with it. Of course, like, it's not going to insta kill them, but you can eventually kill panzers, and it's great for killing zombies to fill up all the boxes. You can usually end up being pretty safe, especially if you have a shield on your back and things like that. So the MP40 is just a great weapon and one of the most iconic wall buys for me in all of Call of Duty Zombies. So it comes in here at the number 2 spot. All right, guys, we have 3 quick honorable mentions. The first one is going to be the MP5 on Ascension. Now, this one is literally right outside of spawn on your way up to like the stage area or PhD is. The MP5 on Black Ops 1 is super good for getting points because it doesn't deal a ton of damage. Obviously, it will in the lower rounds, but it's a great weapon to have to rack up some points. The next honorable mention is going to be the ICR on ZNS. Now, this one is right near the green water area, and the ICR is definitely one of the best assault rifles in all of Black Ops 3. So I usually go and buy this weapon right away because I know if I need more ammo, I can just buy it off the wall, and it's going to get me through some of the more tricky situations. It can help me do any of the lockdowns because it can kill thrashers fairly quick, especially when you have it pack a punch. So it's just a great weapon overall to get some points in the early game. And the last and final honorable mention is going to be the KRM on Drak. As you guys know, this thing will literally destroy panzers and melt panzers just like the Spitfire on werewolves. This thing is so good, and honestly, it was kind of a toss-up between Drak or Shadows for the KRM, but I think they're pretty much even, and I had to put it somewhere on the list, so it definitely deserves the last and final honorable mention spot. So without further ado, guys, let's get into the number 1 spot. All right, guys, and coming in at the number 1 spot, I'm not sure if you guys agree with me, but it's going to be the MP40 on Kino der Toten in the Speed Cola room. Now, this is the way I go every single time I play Kino, unless I know the box is going to be in the MPL room. So obviously the MPL is the weapon that a lot of players use for high rounds when they're using the fire trap because it's literally in the fire trap room. But if you're a casual player, you don't really go for high rounds like me, then it's definitely the MP40 in the Speed Cola room. I go that way every single game. I always buy it on like round 3 or 4 depending on how many points I have, and the MP40 is going to be great for getting you a lot of points, and it's another weapon that's really effective against those annoying Black Ops 1 dogs that are always biting at your heels. Now, it's going to be one of those weapons that if you decide to pack a punch, you're not going to have that much ammo, so it's not really the best weapon to pack a punch, but it will get you through the early rounds so you can rack up points and eventually start hitting the box for things like the Thunder Gun or the Ray Gun or any of like the amazing LMGs that are in Black Ops 1, like the HK-21 or the RPK. Both of those weapons are some of my favorites in all of Zombies history. So anyways, guys, that is going to be the top 10. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please consider dropping a like and subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.